Welcome to an LTTV special of sorts. I'm trapped in a bunker room at Oval Park while they continue to not only, reshape the coaching squad following today's announcement, but also reshape the facilities here for the players to come back to in a couple of weeks when they return ahead of next season. But down to the point of today, the big news out of Leicester Tigers here at Oval Park was the addition, or the future addition, of a new coach to the club, who I'm very happy to say has taken some time out from his own little bunker, it seems, there as well, to have a chat. We are via Zoom while we all continue to play it safe, so that's the rules. First and foremost, Kevin Sinfield, OBE, MBE, there's either or really, isn't it?
Yeah, take your pick.
So the next one is Sir Kevin, which I've seen quite a few people refer to you as well. You're not going there. Not yet.
Just Kev. Just Kev's fine.
Just Kev's fine.
Yeah.
So let me indulge myself here, Kev, if you can. 521 Super League appearances, or appearances for Leeds Rhinos, 40 international appearances for England and Great Britain, 18 years as a professional rugby league player. You debuted at 16. You retired at 35. At what point do you think, oof, I've done quite a bit there?
Thank you. Very, very kind. Very kind. Do you know what? I don't reflect a lot. I don't reflect. I tend to move on pretty quickly to the next challenge. So I have to say, I am hugely excited about joining Leicester Tigers. I think what Steve has done this last 12 months in particular, the staff he's got in place. I know Allard is a legend as well around rugby union circles, but the staff that are in place, the playing group, really, really impresses me. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to come and join a wonderful club with a great heritage and tradition, and with some wonderful values. And I was able to see them firsthand through Andrea as CEO, through Peter as chairman, and dealt pretty closely with Richard Wilkes as well. So, I can't thank people enough. Guarantee you, I'll give it my absolute all, and hopefully it's a really exciting couple of years.
I'm going to ask a pretty blunt question to start off, because the first thing people have asked is, obviously, you did play rugby union for a short spell, but your background is rugby league. You are coming in as a defensive, I was going to say novice. I hope you don't mind novice. We'll go with novice. Why that move, and why now?
Yeah, really good question. And I think you probably asked why coaching. In particular, the last 18 months, the role I was in currently has changed considerably. And then we look at some of the fundraising activities I were involved in over the last 18 months with my good friend Rob Burrow. And it's had a huge effect on me, and sort of how important being happy is, having some real perspective and a real drive to help people. And the best way I can do that from the skill set and background that I have is through coaching, I believe. So after a number of conversations with Steve, after a fair amount of reflection, I know I said I don't do that very much, but reflection in terms of what's next for me and what the future looks like, this was just a wonderful opportunity. And I've had so much satisfaction from coaching an under-16s team over the last couple of years, which, yes, it's league again, but it probably made it very clear to me where I should be heading. And I'm really excited about helping people get better, helping people improve. I do know rugby, so there are some areas I will need to get up to speed to very, very quickly. I'm not naive to think that I won't. I'll need some support and some help from a whole host of people, and some forgiveness at times. But I'm 100% in it, 100% committed, and I think it's a wonderful club. and with the support that's in place, with the way that our friendship, Steve and I's friendship has developed, I think there's a great opportunity to try and assist and do my best possible.
I mean, for those who have brought it up in the terms of moving from rugby league to rugby union, you're not the first. So it's not as if it's not a tried and tested theory. Some rugby league players have gone on to be international. I mean, you look at the Irish team with Andy Farrell, you look at guys like Sean Edwards, even Les Kiss from my neck of the woods, guys have gone on to do it. One guy who's gone on to do it as well was obviously Mike Ford, who, all credit where credit's due, has laid some solid foundations in his role that you can come in now and grow.
Yeah, I think he's done a wonderful job. Ironically, Mike and I are from the same town, up in Oldham, so I bump into him every now and again, and it's normally a conversation about both league and union. But I reached out to him Tuesday. We had a chat on the phone. I think he's very respectful of Leicester, and I think he fully realises and appreciates what the club think of him and what a great job he's done. So there's some pretty big shoes to fill, and I'll give it my best shot. Like I've said, I think you're right in pointing out a number of ex-rugby league players have moved across. And yeah, I'm, like I said, there's a whole host of learning that I'll need to do for it to work, but I'm prepared to put the hours in and the time in, and I want to do the best job I can.
Can you take us a little bit, and without obviously giving anything away? That's one, because I'm scared of him, but two, because we don't want to give away too many secrets. But can you take us into those conversations with Steve? And I guess from the point of view of what was it, or maybe some of the things he said that sold you on joining his team?
I think his desire to improve, his will to win. I think that shines through. And as you've seen in his career when he was a player, he was a winner. And I think he's trying to put together a team that reflects who he is and what he does. And I think you could look at him and think he's a pretty serious guy. But underneath that, he's a really caring, funny man as well. And I'm really looking forward to working for him. And like I said, try and support him the best way possible and play my part in helping Leicester be successful. So he's the conversations have been really, really positive. He spoke so highly of the club and the direction of travel. He spoke so highly of the playing group and the staff that are going to be in place and are already in place. And it just looks like a really exciting club to be a part of, and I reckon it's going to be a pretty exciting journey as well.
Did he mention at all the media team, just out of interest, or was he not at all? No.
Yeah, he said there were a guy called Bondi. He was absolutely fantastic.
Well said, well rehearsed earlier. You mentioned his will to win. You finished your career as the record point scorer, record appearance holder. You've won a golden boot. And for those that don't know, that's the world's best player in rugby league. Not many from Great Britain have won that. I thought I'd just throw that in there, that mostly Australians win it. You've won, I'm right in thinking, 7 Super League titles and 2 Challenge Cups. He mentioned you as a serial winner in the announcement. What are you going to bring in terms of not just defence, but how are you going to try and also bring that into the role?
I think it's really important you're yourself. And I think if you try to be something that you're not, the players will see through it and pick you apart. So it's funny, we had a similar conversation yesterday, but I know what I am, if that makes sense, and I also have confidence in who I am. I'm also very aware of some of the areas I need to work on and some of the deficiencies I have, and hopefully the rest of the staff can complement that and really help me through that. But I'm a bloke who's pretty honest. Have a fair amount of humility. You know, I'm a working class lad from Oldham, and I've never forgotten that. And I'm extremely hardworking. So those three values or areas, if you like, I've had and grown up with, and they've enabled me to achieve in a fantastic team, and I hope I can use them to drive me forward and be a success within a fantastic club.
When you look at your record and your achievements, it almost would have been okay, and I don't think anyone would have judged you if you just sat back and almost kind of twizzled your thumbs for a while. But you, in recent time, and I hope I'm not being presumptuous, have probably achieved something bigger than anything you thought you may have in the game. And when you look back at your playing career, I'd suggest your last 12 months or 18 months has probably been one of the highlights of your life. You didn't sit back and twizzle your thumbs. You went out for a friend, let's be honest, and also for something that's extremely close to your heart, and raised millions of pounds for the MND Association. When you say you've reflected and that changed some perspective for you, can you explain a little bit about what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think we all feel the need to help people, and we all want to help people. But when it happens to somebody who's that close to you, and who he was a captain for 13 years and sat next to him for 15 years in a dressing room, what sport gives you some really important friendships that you never let go of. And we've been through some pretty tough times together and some wonderful times together too. And I think what sport does is it brings people together in times of need, and you don't forget. So I would say it's a lot easier doing things for other people than yourself. And I would agree with you. What we did as a team in December, the 7-in-7 team, had a huge effect on me, and I got so much satisfaction out of providing hope and support for not only Rob but that MND community. That it changed me. And I know that sounds a bit corny and a bit fluffy, but without going through that experience, I don't think I'd be sat talking to you today. I think so. Something certainly changed, and you're right. You've said some really nice stuff about my record today, but I'm certainly ready for another challenge, and probably don't get any bigger than this for me. It's been a huge decision to make, and I'm absolutely delighted that I get to embark on a completely new journey and hopefully become a success with it, and at a fantastic club.
I hope you don't mind. You and I spoke earlier in the week, and you said to me something I thought was quite surprising in a way. When you said to me that you accepted the risk of this, and I would suggest, given your record and given your status in the game of rugby league, you could very easily have sat and remained a director of rugby and in some senses been comfortable and quite happily got on with the job. You've mentioned already today, when you obviously announced that you were leaving Leeds Rhinos, that you wanted to move into something more performance-based, and the role had changed slightly. I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I guess accepting that risk that, one, the club's taking, but two, that you're willing to go out. Is that because of who you are and what you want to do in life, that you want to go and take a risk? But it is what you also made it very clear, a calculated risk.
Yeah, I think you're right in everything you said. I want to be close to the rugby. I want to be close to the performance. I want to be able to affect what we see on a weekend and the performance. I want to be able to help players improve and the people around me be better. I reckon the best leaders I've worked with have a huge amount of courage. And what often comes with courage is an element of risk. And there is a risk in this. Absolutely, there is, and I fully appreciate there's risk on both sides. Leicester have taken a big risk in hiring me, but I think from both sides we've done enough homework. I believe from my side it's a calculated risk. I hope from Leicester's side they believe it's a calculated risk, but I'll make it work. I'll make it work, and I don't say that with any arrogance. I just know how hard I'm going to work. I know my skill set, and I'm confident that I can work really well with Steve and the rest of the coaching team, and I know it's going to be a bit of a journey. I'm absolutely ready for it.
We love a journey at Leicester Tigers. Just to, I guess, finish up on the role itself, but philosophically speaking, and again, don't give away the secrets because we do want to be successful. What can Leicester Tigers fans expect from their team in defence with you now running the show?
Yeah, well, I think you were right before. Mike set a really good platform, and I'll be looking to add some bits to that. I've got my own ideas on defending. Yes, the games are very, very different, but I think a defensive line is a defensive line, and if you break that down into two categories, one is the contact area and the hit and the technique involved in a tackle, and the other is sort of your defensive alignment and how you set up and how you plan for different eventualities that you're going to be faced with from different teams. So at times we'll get broken down, but I'd like to think they will be less than previously. I would also like to think we'll be better at covering them up. And I'm not trying to give too much away here. I've got my idea on how we should defend. That will be absolutely shared and will be collaborative with the rest of the coaching staff, because I think it's really important that we all buy in and we all know exactly what we're delivering and we're all on the same page. And really looking forward to getting to work.
One thing that's going to be very different for you is the fans. While rugby fans are incredibly passionate, they don't sing as much. So are you going to be keen to speak to fans about putting some chants together? Are you going to try and bring some down? I know you, correct me if I'm wrong, you're quite an Oldham Athletic fan as well. So are you going to bring any of that kind of northern supporting?
No, do you know what? I'm quite a shy bloke, so singing's not my bag.
No. Steve's a big singer, so I'm sure he'll.
Is that right? Is that right? I've heard some wonderful things about the home games. I've heard some wonderful things, and I know the stadium has not been rocking for the last 12 months, although those 6,000 fans that were in there a fortnight ago were pretty vocal. So I'm really looking forward to the experience. I'm looking forward to the experiences of some of the away grounds. But absolutely, the chance to be at Welford Road, I do know the history and the tradition. I know some of the greats that have been on that field, and I think it's really important that you understand the club's DNA and its heritage, and Leicester's got it in abundance.
You've got to make another big change into new colours for effectively the first time in your life. Red, white and green.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty happy. My community club, when I was a junior setting out, was Waterhead, and their colours were red, white and green.
Perfect.
So it works pretty well for me.
Perfect. I guess as a final question, I know you've touched on it in various parts, but just even as a next step in your career, in your life, how excited are you for this next chapter?
Massively excited. I think everything I've heard, everybody I've spoken to, everybody at the club I've met either face to face or via Zoom or on a phone call has been unbelievable. And I am really excited. I know I've got a job to finish here, and I'll put everything into it. But I can't wait. It's a new challenge. It's a new chapter. It's something that I truly feel I'm ready for. So really happy.
Well, Kevin or Kev, I'll get used to Kev. I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say everyone here is excited. It's a short trip down the motorway, but you'll eventually make it soon enough and we can rip into a new season. So all the best. I guess there will be Tigers fans cheering for Leeds Rhinos now. I don't know how many of them are rugby league supporters, but all the best for the rest of your season. And we look forward to having you here at Oval Park and Matty Ollywoods Welford Road soon enough.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.